Well, folks, it's officially Tuesday. The weekend's come, the movie has come out, and since it's had $1.2 billion worth of sales, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. We are talking Avengers Endgame. Now, I'm going to be talking about some of my thoughts in this, so if you have not seen it, if you're one of the special few who are waiting a bit, go ahead, stop the video. Don't listen to this. I want you to go see this film first before you even hear my thoughts. If you're looking for spoilers, I don't want to be the one to do it, so, I don't know, go to Watch Mojo or something. Anyways, let's talk about this film. First of all, it is 3 hours long. Boy, that was quite long. And I actually had to go run to the restroom. Luckily, I had some friends who gave me a timestamp to do it in, so I didn't miss much. I'm actually going to go a second time to watch it, so the 2 minutes I missed, I will catch that up. But let's talk about the movie. The first thing is, a lot of the scenes that you see in the trailers are actually from the first 10 to 30 minutes of the film. It is literally right after Endgame. Maybe, I think, a month or two. Tony's out in space, like you see in the trailers. He's saved by Captain Marvel. The Avengers are looking for Thanos. They find him. They go to him. They chop off his head. They find out the stones are gone. Boom! That's when we have the time jump of 5 years. Even in that short beginning, there was a lot of stuff that happened. Iron Man, I don't know if they digitally did it or if Robbie Downey Jr. actually kind of slimmed down for it. He kind of looked scrawny. You know, he was out in space. They ran out of food. They ran out of water. They were going to run out of air. So I like that they had that look of that, but he was kind of out of commission, kind of delirious and all that. But, man, it was good. Some of the other things I liked. Chris Hemsworth, man, you could just see that he was portraying Thor pissed that he missed his chance to stop what happened. Rocket was happy to see Nebula. Even though Tony and Steve were still button heads, you could tell Steve was happy to see Tony. There was just so much going on. Now, the 5-year jump. There were a lot of theories that people had. A lot of them came true. A lot of them did not. But a lot of things had changed. First thing, the whole quantum realm. We all kind of knew that was going to play into it. It did have to do with the time travel, so that's why there was a bunch of scenes where you saw a bunch of the Avengers back in their old school uniforms. And they had to do with a different lot of timelines. There was back during the first Avengers movie. There was during the Thor movie, I believe the second one, which nobody really remembers. There was actually, they went way back, and I think in the 40s, during the time of Agent Carter. There was a lot of time travel around this, and that's how they went back to collect the stones, which was a really good idea. But I'm not going to tell you much more of that, because there's a lot more. But let's talk about the actors. And you could tell that I'm very excited about this. That's why I'm rambling. There's not going to be a lot of edits in this video, but I do apologize. The actors. We knew some of them were going to retire at this. The big three. We had Chris Evans, Mr. Captain America. I kind of liked what they did with Captain America in this film. One of the things that I literally almost jumped out of my seat was seeing Captain America wield Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, which was just magnificent. And that kind of confirmed what a lot of people thought back during the Age of Ultron film, which was you saw the hammer move a little when Steve was attempting to lift it. A lot of people, myself included, kind of had this theory that he could have picked it up, but he decided not to. This just proved he was worthy of the hammer, which did happen in the comics. So it was kind of very awesome that they made this happen. And talking about Mjolnir, let's talk about Chris Hemsworth. Dad bod Thor. Who would have ever thought? As a fat guy myself, I can now officially say I could cosplay Thor. But it was awesome to kind of see Thor not as mighty. I know there was the broken down version in like the first film where he kind of learned he wasn't all that, but in this, he was down at the bottom, an alcoholic beer gut. And to see him come back and get back in his fighting spirit, not only with Stormbreaker, but Mjolnir, that was awesome. And the cool thing was, they had this scene where there was like a fishing village, which was New Asgard, which was kind of an homage to what happened to the New Asgard in the comics, which I don't know a lot about, but it was kind of nice to see that happen. And of course, the cool part was we saw that Korg and Meek and Valkyrie, they all survived, which was great because a lot of us never saw them in Infinity Wars, so I was glad about that. Now the third guy. Oh, this broke my heart. Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, Iron Man. I don't know how I can say this without tearing up, but because that was my character. I loved Iron Man. I actually bought a crap load of Iron Man comics before the movie came out. I actually collect the old school Iron Man comics. That was my character. So to see Tony Stark broken in the beginning, then a family man with an actual daughter, then getting back into the game, and then sacrificing himself at the end. I cried. I cried a lot after that. I'm kind of tearing up right now. Tony Stark is one of my favorite characters. A lot of people say he's B rank, but he was always my favorite Marvel character. So, to see him going out like this, I think was a great way. I'm not crying, you're crying. Now let's talk about Mark Ruffalo. Hulk. Now that was something I never thought they would do, but I was very happy they did. We got Professor Hulk. Now, you may not know who Professor Hulk is, but there was a time in the comics where Bruce Banner and Hulk finally kind of came to a truce and they merged. So you had the intelligence of Bruce Banner, but you had the strength of Hulk all in one body. It was very unique to see that, and that was kind of why you never really saw that character in the trailers, because they did not want to give that away, which I think was good. Does this mean we're going to have another Hulk movie later on? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of interesting. A Professor Hulk movie could go in any direction now they want, especially since it seems he's no longer on the run. So, and he's not smashing things, so maybe he can stay with the Avengers, actually have a normal life. Who knows? I kind of want to see where it goes. This big fight was epic. There was loss on both sides. And, you know, a lot of people were wondering who was actually going to survive. Who was going to come back? Because, you know, we lost Loki. We lost Heimdall. We lost Vision. And then you lost everyone who was in the snap. It was very nice to see everyone who got snapped come back. But then you had characters like Vision. He couldn't come back because he was part of the Soul Stone, which was kind of a bummer and kind of a question mark. How are they going to do the Scarlet Witch and Vision show if Vision's dead? Is it going to be a beforehand, when it was before Infinity War, when they were, I don't know, dating? Or are we going to get a new Vision? Did Shuri from Wakanda actually pull out most of his memory? I don't know. I'm going to wonder how they do this. And another one that's kind of confusing me, Black Widow died. Isn't she supposed to be getting a movie? Does this mean that it's going to be an Origins movie? I don't know how I feel about that. Is Scarlett Johansson even going to come back as Black Widow in that movie? That one's a little Now, the big surprising one, I think Loki's alive now. In the scene when they're back in the original Avengers movie, which was, 2012, I believe? There was that scene where Iron Man was trying to get the Tesseracts and blah, blah, blah. And he got knocked over and it fell out, and Loki picked it up and grabbed it, and then poof, he was gone. So does that mean Loki's now alive in a different timeline? Or is he alive in this timeline? Is that how they're going to have the whole Loki series on Disney Plus? I don't know. I'm kind of interested because that played a lot into it. Let's talk about that battle at the end. That was massive. Let's face it. You had the 3 Avengers fighting him. You had Thor, you had Iron Man, you had Captain America all fighting him, and then it got down to just Captain America left, and he was standing there ready to fight Thanos and his whole army on his own, and then you see Doctor Strange's portals happening, and then all those characters just coming back. Even surprise characters like Rescue, Pepper Potts in her own Iron Man suit. That was, wow. I cannot describe this battle that happened. It was massive. You had so many characters across so many movies, and it was just, wow. This ended on such a way that I cannot describe it. And I know you're probably watching this and thinking, well, what about this character? What about that character? There are so many characters I could talk about in this, but this would become an hour-long film. I don't know how any film Marvel's going to do from this point on is going to top this epic stage. This literally had every Marvel character that was shown somehow in this. I don't know how they're going to top this. And I'm not sure I want to know how. Folks, I'm the noob. I don't know how I could express my thoughts and feelings on this movie as best as I did, or even better. There is so much in this that I don't know how anyone could take this in one sitting. I literally will have to go back twice, maybe a third time. What about you? What are your thoughts on Endgame? Have you watched it? Are you waiting to watch it? What are your thoughts on this? Is there anything in this that shocked and surprised you? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thank you for watching this. Thank you for listening to me ramble. If you want to see more of these videos where I don't edit as much and you just want to see my raw thoughts, put them in the comments below. And take any suggestions that you want. One that's recently come up is one of my friends wants me to do a drunk review. How would you guys like that? Do you think you'd like to see me hammered and trying to discuss a movie? I don't know. Anyways, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye.